Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Them honors to my apostles, elders of Great Millstone, citations to the 144,000, one-third of the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm your brother Kabash from the Jim Selena camp. I'm here with the whole faith to find lessons through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. In this lesson, I'm going to get into 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. And this is going into the prophecies concerning the last days, which we are living in right now. So I'm going to start at verse 50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times should dwell in the world." So this is talking about now, future tense. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, from the top, the Lord tells Ezra about before the beginning of creation, and then the beginning of creation, and what's going to happen at the end of man's time in the creation and the new beginning of mankind in this creation that's going to be after the old creation. Because right now we're living in the time of, man, which, man is going to live forever. The Israelite men is going to live forever. These nations are going to continue forever, just like the beginning of time. All people that are on the face of the earth stem from those people in the ancient world, going back to Adam and these children of men and the children of the wicked, that's written about in Genesis chapter 6 concerning the different kinds of men, and also in the beginning of chapters of Genesis. So the Lord is going to start it over in these times, because when I say man time, I mean, according to how the scriptures have it, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, Job chapter 9, verse 24. So it's what we're in evil times, and evils are being done not only to the creation, like the planet, the animals, the trees, the earth, things in the earth, but also mankind. And then the Lord's going to reset it. And we at that time of the Lord resetting. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. And you can see great miseries are upon the face of the earth right now. All type of things are happening. You got pestilence going out in the world. You got man-made famines. You even got real famines. You have death overshadowing the world, especially over here in America. You can look on social media and see killings. You can see through many other social media platforms where they show live stream killings. Because they got cameras damn near everywhere in the world, especially over in America. And people are losing their wits. Even the judicial system is killing people, whether in their prisons, how they treating the inmates, and also how inmates treating each other. These law enforcement personnels out in these different cities and rural areas, things are just going haywire, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's already in the news with World War III, and you have nations collapsing, such as America, which is not talked about, because they have walked in great pride. Yeah, you see the people out here, man, especially over in America, which the Lord got a whole chapter about destroying America. Well, several other chapters too. In the Old Testament, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. And then also the New Testament, Revelation chapter 18. So you see the pride, that's going on in the world, especially over in America. Verse 51, "But understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee." What is the glory of those that be like him? The hopefully elect. The hopefully elect are consent in one mind according to the doctrine. And they also come from the same background, the same family line. But the Lord has only chosen, or have chosen, a few. Verse 52, for unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. Yeah, so the kingdom of heaven is already ready for us. We're just going through the process of time of living out these evil times, ill times, because that's what we're living in. You know, we're living in evil times, but the Lord said, what? The triumphing of the wicked is but for a short moment. Job chapter 20, verse 4 goes into that. Believe it or not, we are the righteous, even though we're at the bottom. You know, Jake is doing the utmost abominable things in the world. But the Lord's going to raise us up, starting with the hopefully elect. The hopefully elect are seeking out the things which the Lord deemed to be right, and also those that seek the things after the Lord, they're going to be glorified from the Lord. And it says right here, verse 52, for unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is built, and rest is allowed. Yeah, we don't get no rest. Micah chapter 2 goes into that. Behold, this is not your rest. It's polluted. This whole world's polluted, whether you got money or not. Because they can be content with having nothing, but still find joy in nothing. So this is not our rest. And it says, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. Verse 53, the root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the mouth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. So is evil sealed up from us right now? Nah. You know, even with our own selves, we still think wicked thoughts here and there, not intentionally, but it's just there. You know, sin revived and I died. You know, it's no more me that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. You know, we try to do right, wrong always happen. So we're not from those times yet, but it's about to come. And those that are going to it's like those that are going to reap that good benefit from the Lord, an everlasting benefit, is going to be those that seek after the Lord hearts, just like King David. You know, that's the hopefully elect in these times. It says corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Yeah, not only death itself and sin, but also Esau, the so-called white man, and these other nations that's having rulership in the world, sovereignty in the world, and that's against Israel. You go to any one of these other nations, countries, you know, you're an outcast. You know, you're proverb and byword. And you don't have your own image sitting on the throne, you know, running the government of their country. So you basically we the last in everything. The Lord, like I read in Matthew chapter 20, I think around the 16th verse, the first should be last, and the last should be first. I mentioned Numbers chapter 24 talks about Amalek being the first of all the nations. Esau can go anywhere in the nation. Hell, his own currency can go into these other nations and be the top currency. So that goes to show you that we are the last. So right here, verse 54, and the hell in verse 53 that I just read, that's literally going into a state of condition. It's going into bad timing. That's what that's talking about. It's not talking about like some place under the ground or something like that where you burn forever. No, it's talking about state of condition that you're in. So right here it says, verse 54, sorrows are past, and in the end, it showed the treasure of immortality. So when the Lord comes back and deliver us from this hell, guess what? We are going to be in paradise forever. Our bodies, our minds, going to have a whole different meaning, you know, and our thinking and our bodies is going to be like God's or God's, you know what I'm saying? We're literally going to be God's. 1 John chapter 3, from verse 1 to verse 3 goes into that. So right here in verse 55, and it says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. Yeah, so don't be concerned with Jake in the world, man. Jacob all concerned about these other nations, but not concerned about them damn selves. Verse 56 says, For when they had taken, it's like, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart that there is no power, yea, and that knowing they must die. So, yeah, they went after the prophets back in the ancient world. Even the only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, who was the top prophet of all the prophets. They scoffed at him, scorned at him. They said in the courts, let his blood be upon our children's children. And that happened. The generation after them, generations after them, the Lord has put extreme, he turned up the curses on the offspring of Jacob that was left over there when they was in under the Roman regime of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Now, you had, sprinkle of northern kingdom over there, but ultimately Jake was divided. Northern kingdom over here in the western part of the world, North, Central, South America, and also Jake that was of the southern kingdom. They stayed over there in Jerusalem. So right here it says, verse 57. It's like verse 58. So it says, it said in their heart that there is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. So Jake out here, they probably thinking in their head. Well, not probably, but they are here and there. I remember when I was young coming from the store, and I was like 9 or 8 years old. I remember coming from the store, I had, bought something out the store. Then, I was just all into, whatever snack I had. And I wanted to thank the Lord. Now, I didn't know, who the Lord was at that time. But I wanted to thank the Lord. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, thank you, Lord. Then all of a sudden, a thought came by. It was real quick. A thought came and said, man, F the Lord. I was like, what the hell? I said, I ain't thinking about that. And then I just, shook it off and just kept on throughout my day. And it ain't crossed my mind ever since. But I remember that day, man. I was crossing the street, was over there off MLK in Adamsville, man. I was over there near the Temp, their village I was going to. And I remember walking across the street. And I'm opening up my snack. I'm like, man, the Lord good, man. The Lord just good, man. Look, And then that thought came in. So Jake have thoughts about the Lord, so one way or another, whether they know the truth or not. And it's super bad if you don't know the truth, especially you over here in Babylon the Great in America. So, because 2/3 of Israel is over here in America. All the 2/3 of Israel is over here in America. And it makes sense, the Apostle Ramallah said that, because Jake have liberty and really, in other words, time to get this truth and get right, just like us that they see in front of them, whether on social media platforms or in the streets. So that's all I have on that, Akim. Lord willing, y'all was edified to them. Say shalom.